50 to 70 meters. That's the depth that represents the limit for normal divers, for those who dive just for fun. From there, today, our adventure really begins.
Per noi comincia la nostra avventura.
Cousteau has dived from 0 to 70 meters all over the world. I'm convinced that from 60 to 150 meters, there are another 100 more meters to be discovered. Red sea fans, or the sea fans forest, aren't anything rare in our sea, in the Mediterranean, but here the dimensions of each branch go beyond the average and the quantity too, just by the fact that they are stacked one on top of the other, like fans, more than 1.5 meters tall. The scholars decided to estimate the biodiversity, especially in the unknown parts, and the technique is simple. You know that in the Ville-de-France Bay, there are researchers of the Ocean Observatory. There are also great research efforts, and during the centuries, new species have been identified. When you explore this in a zone where there wasn't any research, we come today to 4,000 newly discovered species. 4,000 new species with names and surnames, and of which they have a sample of each one, somewhere 400,000 species. Well, there are still areas yet to be explored, and it is estimated that there are still 20 million species still yet to be discovered. This strange creature tells us the depth and how deep we are. The scientists call it the Astropatros. We normal people call it the Gorgon star, as in fact it's a relative of the starfish. It's a very special star, sensitive to sunlight. Even if it doesn't have eyes, it's a star that loves the darkness. This is the reason why it lives at a depth of up to 280 meters. It opens its tentacles only at night. It opens them to form a net. This time, however, strangely enough, hit by the bright light of my torches, it started to open its tentacles. We were expecting a different kind of behavior, however. Laurent and Roberto are at 90 meters. Further down there are several steps on the seabed, and at a certain point there's something white, like snow on a mountain. As a matter of fact, it was a forest of black coral, literally black coral, like the ones they use for jewellery, the ones they collect in the tropical sea depths. It is here too, in the Mediterranean, white bushes with thin branches. As a matter of fact, this animal too gives us a lot of information, as well as this animal colony. While the sea fans live in the main sea stream, here we are at about 90 meters. The waters are calm. There's the dimension of a bush with long, fragile branches, the structure of the colony, which may catch all the particles coming down from the surface. These dives are so challenging. They are physically and technically stressful. Your stomach gets compressed. It's also challenging sometimes. You want to show more and more of what you're seeing, of what you're feeling, the landscape. It's a very strong emotion. And then you want to take photos of the sheer underwater nature. Inevitably, you're invited into another dimension, an artistic dimension. You're driven to show the context that you see in this light. At these depths, there isn't that much light anymore. There's almost none. But suddenly, you find yourself forced to create natural light. In order to take your photos, you have to take them with a stand. We use long exposure time to photograph these delicate forms, which are so particular at this depth. It's hunting time too. The Fish, the animals you want to photograph, is fast, like a gunshot. So you've got to catch the photo of an animal passing by, and you've just got a few seconds to do it. And at the same time, you've got to place the stand and create the atmosphere. It's very ambitious at such depths, and just the fact of shooting at these depths is a big commitment. There are many deep-sea divers out there who don't have these results. It's not an unusual situation. Laurent is chasing a fish and I'm chasing him. So don't think we're on a set where you can talk and decide, where you can spend a moment to build up a frame. Everything is very much improvised, straight away, without any organization and with no chance to communicate, save some gestures, some mumblings. And meanwhile, while you're thinking of shooting, while you're thinking of filming, while Laurent is taking pictures, we both think about focusing, about the diaphragm, about the switches, about the backlight, which is too bright, about